Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. Did you ever hear parallel fifths must be avoided when writing harmonies, when writing counterpoint, when harmonizing anything? I certainly did. Um, it's a rule, but rules are made to be broken, right? Let's take a look. For some reason this morning, I woke up thinking, what if? What if? Well, actually, that's not entirely true because I've always known that parallel fifths are terrific. And it does come up with guitarists, of course, all the time. And there are instruments that are tuned in fifths, like cello or tenor guitar. So you can just slide around and get it. My student Alex, who wound up at Berklee College of Music and was a great guitar player, but sort of an indifferent pianist, always moved in fifths. Alex had a unique perspective. He said to me, well, if music doesn't work out, I can always fall back on skateboarding. Sharp kid. Listen, I made a little string arrangement today. String quartet. This I was using the Spitfire BBC Orchestra, just the soloists from the section. So it's not really a very good sounding string quartet, but it's enough to take a good close look. I also wrote a score because honestly, planning this, I realized I needed to really think about what I was doing. I didn't want to just do it on the fly. I know I don't show notation very often, but let's take a look at what I did in Finale. So for those of you that read music, you can see that all the motion is in parallel fifths, and parallel fifths are, pretty easy to play on most of these instruments. And the net result is some very sonorous stacked chords. Often there are 5, 6 different pitches. I wrote it in A minor so that you can see it. Feel free to snap this and try it yourself. I was actually really delighted by the results. I began with the cello and then stacked the viola on top of that. And you can see they're moving pretty much in parallel together. And then the violins 1 and 2 are sort of counterpoint to it. Well, enough of that. Aren't you curious about how it looks and what it sounds like? Well, here's what's delightful about that from my point of view. There are some strong dissonances, minor seconds, major seconds, extended voicings on minor and major chords. And yet, because the parallel fifths are established strongly, we hear those secondary dissonances as part of a system which your ear quickly takes in. Let's listen one more time and listen for the sonorities. It begins really simply with a minor 7 chord. Major 6, major 9. I love the F sharp in there. And also the F sharp there. We hear Fs and F sharps in this arrangement. I'm not the only person who's ever tried this, of course, but it is a remarkable way of handling, especially sustained orchestral textures. Ravel, the French composer, was particularly capable of managing parallel fourths and fifths. And there are some just delightful sounds coming out of his orchestrations. I recommend you take a listen to some of his orchestral writing. Copland, also in the United States, with, I guess, most of his arrangements, really pluck those sonorities out. Arrangements from the orchestral suite Appalachian Spring or Rodeo are just masterful examples of this kind of writing. Jazz musicians also don't hesitate to stack fifths, maybe a fifth and then a fifth in the left hand and then a fifth and a fifth in the other, and interlock them to create sort of sensible sonorities which violate a simple rule of harmony, which is no parallel fifths. But I'm here to tell you this, fifths are good. Keep an eye out for the release of our holiday subscriber challenge. Martin's editing Silent Night together, Stille Nacht, and we're going to have a nice long version of it for you very, very soon. Like and subscribe. I want to know what's going on with you. What's up with your arranging, your work, your beat making, your orchestral writing. It's a pleasure to be doing this with you, and I'll see you next time.